The Truth Can Change Your Life YouTube channel. The unexplained woman who predicted 9/11 has some really bad news for 2017 and beyond. Vanga successfully predicted the election of President Obama, the Kursk nuclear submarine disaster, 9/11, the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami, World War II, the date on which Tsar Boris III died, Boris Yeltsin's election, the date of Stalin's death, East and West Germany's reunification, the conflicts in Syria and the separation of Crimea among countless other predictions. Vanga, as she was commonly referred to, lost her sight when she was just 12 years old. After being swept away by a storm, the young girl somehow survived, covered in dirt and stones. Vanga made her first predictions when she was 16 years old, as she helped her father find a sheep which got lost from the rest. Somehow, the young girl managed to give her father a detailed description of the yard where the animal was being kept. By the time she turned 30 years of age, Vanga was without a doubt one of the most successful prophets of the Balkans. As news about her ability spread across Europe, Vanga was visited by countless statesmen, even Hitler. Interestingly, Vanga was visited by King Boris III in 1942 and 1943. She told the king that he would die on August 28, 1943. In February of 1943, she told the king that she could see a red flag waving above his palace. It turns out that her predictions came true. King Boris III died on August 28, and the red flag was raised above Sofia in the autumn of 1944. Vanga died in 1996, but she predicted some of the most incredible events in the human history. The blind mystic managed to predict the 9/11 terror attacks and the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami, and also seemed to have warned the world with her predictions about the rise of the terrorist group ISIS decades ago. Incredibly, in 1980 she predicted the sinking of Russian nuclear submarine the Kursk in 2000. At the turn of the century, in August of 1999 or 2000, Kursk will be covered with water, and the whole world will be weeping over it. Future predictions made by Vanga are that in 2023 the Earth's orbit would change, which would melt the poles and set fire in the Middle East. She also predicted that a great Islamic war would begin in Syria, culminating in complete control of Rome, in 2043. Furthermore, according to the prophetess, China will become a world power in 2018. But, as many agree, she's probably out a few years here, as China is already an economic and military powerhouse. The blind mystic said that a new energy source will be created and global hunger will start to be eradicated between 2025 and 2028. A manned spacecraft to Venus will be launched. She made a couple of very exotic and apocalyptic predictions as well. Vanga assured that there will be no survivors on Earth, circa 3797, and that aliens will help man to live underwater in 2130, or a possible war on Mars in 3005. Here's a list what the blind mystic managed to correctly predict. The Kursk nuclear submarine disaster. Global warming. 9/11, horror, horror. The American brethren will fall after being attacked by the steel birds. The wolves will be howling in a bush, and innocent blood will be gushing. The 2004 Boxing Day tsunami, a huge wave will cover a big coast covered with people and towns, and everything will disappear beneath the water. Everything will melt, just like ice. A great Muslim war beginning with the Arab Spring and culminating in the rise of ISIS. The election of Barack Obama, she predicted that the 44th president would be an African American. She also predicted he would be the last U.S. president. World War II. The date on which Tsar Boris III died. The breakup of Czechoslovakia. The breakup of the Soviet Union. The breakup of Yugoslavia. East and West Germany's reunification. Boris Yeltsin's election. The Chernobyl disaster. The date of Stalin's death. The conflicts in Syria. The separation of Crimea. The future seems extremely interesting, if anything. 2023, the Earth's orbit will change. Nobody really knows what this means. Loading. 2025, the population of Europe will reach almost zero. 2028, mankind will fly to Venus, in hope of finding new sources of energy. 2033, world water levels will rise as the polar ice caps melt. This is already happening. 2043, Europe's transformation into an Islamic caliphate is complete. Rome is named the capital. The world's economy thrives under Muslim rule. 2066, America will use a new climate change weapon for the first time in a bid to retake Rome and bring back Christianity. 2076, communism will return to Europe and the rest of the world. 2084, nature is reborn. Nobody is really sure what this means. 2100, man-made sun illuminates the dark side of the planet. This is already in the pipeline. Since 2008, scientists have been working on creating an artificial sun using nuclear fusion technology. 2130, with the help of the aliens, civilizations will live underwater. 2170, major global drought. 2187, 2 large volcanic eruptions will be successfully stopped. 2201, temperatures drop as the sun's thermonuclear processes slow down. 2262, planets will slowly change orbits. Mars will be threatened by a comet. 2354, an accident on the artificial sun will result in more drought. 2480, 2 artificial suns will collide and leave the Earth in the dark. 3005, a war on Mars will change the trajectory of the planet. 3010, a comet will hit the Moon. The Earth will be surrounded by a ring of rock and ash. 3797, by this time, everything on Earth will die. However, human civilization will be advanced enough to move to a new star system. 3803, a new planet is populated by little. Few are contacts between people. Climate. New planet affects the organisms of people, they mutate. 3805, the war between humans for resources. More than half of people dying out. 3815, the war is over. 3854, the development of civilization virtually stops. People live flocks as beasts. 3871, new prophet tells people about moral values, religion. 3874, new prophet receives support from all segments of the population. Organized a new church. 3878, along with the church to retrain new people forgotten sciences. 4302, new cities are growing in the world. New church encourages the development of new technology and science. 4302, the development of science. Scientists discovered in the overall impact of all diseases and organism behavior. 4304, found a way to win any disease. 4308, due to mutation people at last beginning to use their brains more than 34%. Completely lost the notion of evil and hatred. 4509, getting to know God. The man has finally been reached such a level of development that can communicate with God. 4599, people achieve immortality. 4674, the development of civilization has reached its peak. The number of people living on different planets is about 340 billion. Assimilation begins with aliens. 5076, a boundary universe. With it, no one knows. 5078, the decision to leave the boundaries of the universe. While about 40% of the population is against it. 5079, end of the world. The truth can change your life. Channel to raise the vibration and share and subscribe this article with your family and friends.